Hey, I'm Marcus.
And I'm Nick.
We are Working Class Nerds.
Cue the intro. That's right. We are Working Class Nerds, the podcast that gives you no information about your favorite information.
Today is Thursday, May 27th, 2021, and you can find this 107 podcast on Apple Podcasts, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere you find the podcast can be found. You can also watch me completely fail at video games at twitch.tv/MarcusB814.
You can also find me completely fail at video games at twitch.tv/NickVern51.
And you can find the both of us on Twitter. I am at MarcusB814.
And I am at Nick Vern. That's NickVern. In this week's episode, we're talking about the newest and greatest High Republic novel, Into the Dark. Joining us today is our great friend of the podcast, Kitty. Kitty Kisses is an amazing SWTOR Twitch streamer and an even better gentleman.
And scholar.
Oh. So, Kitty, welcome back to the show. And what have you been up to?
Well, guys, thank you for that nice intro. That was very, very, very kind of you.
Nick was completely telling the truth. I was, just kind of nodding and smiling.
I get it. I know what's up. I know what's going on. I have been streaming SWTOR and being very busy in real life, blah, blah, blah. And in being so busy, I messed up my knee pretty bad, and I have been hobbling around, and it sucks. It's only been like 3 days, and I am done with it. It sucks, and it's making me very tired. But
I can imagine.
I did find a couple things that really suck about having a bum knee. Basically, I can't bend it at all, right? So I have to kind of just keep it as straight as possible, because if I bend it, it hurts like a mofo. And a couple things that are very difficult to do when you have a knee injury like this. One is I don't have a car, so I have to ride my bike everywhere. I have been riding my bike around with one leg, like cranking one leg to get to work.
That is awful.
It sucks. But I figure, you know what? It's a workout and I need to get exercise somehow. So, but man, after working on it all day and then getting on a bike and riding all the way home with one leg, because I have toe clips so I can, crank it. My legs are really sore. Like the half of my body that I usually use that's not when it's not injured is like super sore from using it on the bicycle. But another thing that sucks super bad is walking downstairs. Like I have to go step and then bring my other foot down to the same step and then step. So it takes forever. And I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I don't do it because I'm like trying to impress anybody, but I always have to run upstairs. I don't know why. Like all my life, I've just sprinted upstairs. So now being super slow on stairs, it drives me crazy.
I can imagine.
And the worst thing about this leg, not being able to bend your leg, is when you're taking a shit.
Yes.
Having to have my legs stretched out while I'm trying to take a poopy sucks.
It's terrible. Yeah, you got to elevate the leg, dude. The cheek gets out of the way.
Oh, it's just the worst. And thank God I have a bidet. That's all I have to say.
Okay,
bidet
so
for the win.
I completely agree. Marcus, have you ever used a bidet?
Yes.
I will describe my bidet interactions later, unless you were done.
No, yeah, I'm done. I have a bidet. I love the bidet. I send bidets to friends. In fact, I think one of you or both of you need a bidet. It's the fucking best. And it's so easy to set up. And let me tell you, it hits the target every time.
I don't know how. I don't know how it aims, but yeah, no matter what position I'm sitting in, it's like, yeah.
So do you dry off after?
Yeah. You give it a little, like a little tiny bit of toilet paper. Boop, boop, boop. Done.
Good to go.
Never are the days where I'm ever touching poop and accidentally, poop. Oh no, I got poop on my finger. Those days are over.
Exactly. Dude,
Oh my God.
So the apartment, first of all, let me just say, I moved into an apartment. Anyways, so the previous tenants were a Turkish family. And as I'm sure most people know, most folks in the rest of the world enjoy bidets, including Turkish people. So they left their bidet on the toilet.
Oh, God, yes.
So it's staying.
So it's ours now. We own that bidet.
When I first sat down on a bidet, I went, oh, man, I hope this thing hits the target. Turned it on. Bam! Bullseye.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa!
It's like a power. It's very jarring.
It is awesome, though.
I don't. It's like a power washer directly. And like, imagine the giant.
Is it a real bidet or is it like the Tushy?
No, well, it's an attachment. It's not built into the toilet.
Okay.
But still, I mean, a bidet is a bidet. It sprays water.
No,
at
I
your
understand
asshole.
that, but like they have like that thing that's called Tushy and it hooks right up.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like not a Tushy brand, but it's the same style.
Right.
Okay.
There's a little cave. You turn this switch, and a little fireman comes out with a hose and nails you right in the rusty sheriff's badge. Bam! That's what I think happens.
That's precisely what happens.
Works, but
yeah. I don't know if ours is just like particularly strong or what. Like if you I tried it without sitting on it and it hit like the wall in front of the toilet.
Oh
like,
yeah,
halfway up the window.
Yeah,
it like sprays up at it.
I've been cleaning the toilet, and then accidentally hit the little the
lever or whatever.
And it just shot. But I just think about being pre-bidet days. Thinking about just smushing shit all over myself.
Yeah.
Instead of
hairy
hitting it with water. Like if that ever happened, if shit ever touched any part of your body, you would at least hit it with water, right? Why won't you do that after taking a shit? Just smushing shit against yourself your hairy is a butt crack. It's a thing of the past.
Exactly. Once you go bidet, you never go back.
You never go back. In fact, we don't. Of course, we don't have one at work, and I'm like, oh man, I had to go, once at work, and I was like, I felt like a fucking savage.
Exactly. I actually at work in my desk, I have wet wipes in like a pack for just in case because you can't go all dry after the bidet.
I'm so glad that you have one.
Yes. I can completely 100% relate.
I love it. We gotta
wait. What's the Imperial March for?
Oh, that was someone was calling me.
Oh,
all right.
Telemarketer it said.
Meanwhile,
back at the ranch.
So I've also this week.
Can I circle back real quick, Nick?
Yeah. What's up?
I just laughed my balls off for 5 minutes because we went from talking about Into the Dark to going into your buttholes.
Into a different dark. Okay.
Yes, okay. Into the darkest of darks.
So did you get into a bike accident where you fucked up your knee?
Oh yeah. Let's hear more about that.
No, what happened is that I skateboarded way past my prime and it has fucked my body up. So I was riding my bicycle as I have to, coming back from the store, and I felt like something poking from underneath my kneecap, like the top of the kneecap, but behind it. And I was like, fuck it. And I just powered through. And then I got home and did a bunch of housework where I was kneeling on my knees. And then I woke up the next day and I couldn't bend my knee and I was in horrible pain. So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I think it was a previous injury just kind of came back. And
I'm not an orthopedic surgeon and I haven't seen imaging of your knee, but it sounds meniscus-y, if that makes sense, which is not that big a deal.
Is that like a Keebler product?
Meniscus, yeah, that's a That's the cookies with the coconut.
Meniscus biscuit.
It's So like, I'll give a quick verbal anatomy lesson. All right, hold your two hands together in fists with the knuckles facing each other. Okay.
Okay.
If you will. So if you imagine that's the two bones in your leg that come together to form your knee, right?
Okay.
You've got tendons ligaments. There's 4 of them that hold together: ACL, PCL. Those are 2 in the middle that cross. Then MCL and LCL on the outside by your thumb and pinky, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in between your knuckles, now you've got a big old pad of cartilage. That is called your meniscus. And if you bend your knees in funky ways like skateboarding, sometimes you can tear it. And now that gets super compressed when you bend your knee a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it can, if you have a problem with your meniscus or you worsened it doing something, and then you're spending a lot of time bending your knees or like on your knee while it's bent, then it can put extra pressure on it and maybe tear it a little more or just aggravate enough to where it hurts a ton.
So what do I do to fix it?
So it depends. So I think what I tore my meniscus in high school, and most people want to get surgery. So what they do is they take the torn portion of it and they make a clean slice so it's not all jagged and flapping and giving off little like meniscus confetti in that joint space.
Gotcha.
Joint.
Yes. So then if that's the case, then they'll go in and take it out. For me, I was 18 at the time, and they said, hey, you have like a spider web tear. They call it a complex tear over like half your meniscus.
Oh, shit.
So like I had some pain, but it wasn't like debilitating. Like, look, if you can get through this and do some physical therapy, eventually it'll scar up and then you should be largely okay.
Okay.
And I did, and it's fine. But the other option was cut off the torn part, and then I would just have half a meniscus, and then I have cartilage on cartilage from the 2 bones in my knee, which turns into bone on bone. They're like, look, if we do that, you're going to need a knee replacement by the time you're like 40. And I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt that bad. So the long story short is you should probably go see a doctor, and they'll probably do some imaging on your knee.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I'm going to wait until I can actually get to a doctor, and then I'm going to go in and have it looked at, because thank God I have insurance, so I might as well.
Sometimes the orthopedic folks take a long time to book an appointment, though. So if it's really bothering you, see what your primary says, or at least give them a call.
Yeah, my primary's in the middle of moving location, so I kind of have to wait a little bit. But I think I'm just going to take a chopstick and jam some memory foam in there, or some of that spray foam stuff that you used for cracks.
Flex Seal.
Just
slap it on there.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then
should be good to go.
And then I'll let the Nixu lick it until it feels better.
Perfect. That sounds like a perfectly reasonable.
No, I appreciate it. I will take your advice. You telling me to put ice on it really has helped. Like every day it's getting a little bit better. So.
Oh, actually, because okay, cool. I think I was surprised Moxie knew so much about it. For what
Moxie knows everything. She's super, super smart.
I was like, ooh, I get to be nerdy and typing away, and then she's saying the same things I am faster than me. I'm like, damn it, you're stealing my thunder, Moxie. I can't refute any of this. It's all exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about it because it is getting better every day. Good. And then I'm like tomorrow I have to go to the pharmacy, which is about a mile away. So I'm gonna walk uphill and ride my bike downhill. Walk up the hill, ride my bike down the hill.
Yeah, and keep that brace on for sure.
Oh, or just take an Uber.
You could Uber.
I'm too fucking stubborn. I'm like, oh no, if it's $10, then I'm not going to do it. Which it's not the money. It's me being like, I need to get some exercise.
I get you. Yeah. Well, I'm optimistic about your knee. It feels better soon.
Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, my knee said thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Nick. I appreciate your optimism.
Oh, I found the problem right there. You got a little baby back bitch knee. Okie day.
Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch.
I got a Sith holocron.
I saw that.
Marcus went to Disney, if you didn't know, which is why we took a week off from podcasting.
So just for the record, I got 7 text messages and Discord DMs. I think there was a total of 15 asking me if I was okay because they didn't realize, because we didn't announce on the podcast, because there's people that listen to the podcast that don't
listen to stream.
Don't go to the stream.
Yeah.
So they messaged me, they DM me and said, "Are you guys okay? Because you guys didn't do a podcast this week." And I said, "I'm in Disney World." They're like, "Well, thanks for letting me know."
Yeah, I forgot
douche.
to do the crossover. I think that was Matt being like, "Thanks for letting me know, douche."
He was one of like 14.
But we care about Matt a lot. So anyways, Marcus went to
Maybe
Disney.
you do.
You do too. Don't give me that.
Of course I do.
I do.
But, Kitty, you care about everybody, which is why we love you. The
Sith holocron. Nick.
Yes. So it's red. It lights up. It's a triangular pyramid. It makes cool noises. And then I found, because I read the instructions.
So that's the key for Nick. Nick read the instructions. I just opened up the bag and was like, "Cool, it turns on."
So that's like a great
Bonus.
a window into our two respective personalities. When I worked with Marcus, if there was something complicated that needed instructions, he just didn't even look at it and he handed it to me. He was like, "Nick, you're the instructions guy.
But
I don't read."
Knowing that and having you guys are so close that you can outsource that to each other,
Right.
which is a great time save.
Sidebar. So when I first got Julia, my daughter, her swing set, this is before my son.
Yeah.
I had a guy that worked with me and then Nick worked with me.
Yeah.
And one day I just said, "Guys, we're meeting at my house." They're like, "For what?" I said, "Don't worry about it." Because if I told them, they would have been pissed off. They showed up. There was a pile of wood. They said, "What's this for?" "We're building a swing set." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "Yep, don't worry. I've got it figured out. Scott, you're going to hand me the parts and hold stuff. I'm going to screw the parts together. Nick is the instruction guy. He's going to tell us where to put the part and how to put the part. We're not going to argue with him where the part goes. We're just going to do it." And 6 hours later, she came out for her nap, lit up. It was done.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
So Nick, whose holocron is it?
It's Darth Bane's holocron, which is epic. And
What?
Marcus didn't realize it. There's no like writing on it that says, "Hey, it's Darth Bane," but the voice of the Sith that talks, it tells a story where it's clearly Darth Bane. I should have just brought it with me, but I'm paraphrasing. He says, he talks some smack as the first thing he says. Says something to the effect of like, "The Sith were all greedy. I killed them all. I established this legacy and passed my knowledge down to only one person." And so obviously the person who did that is Darth Bane. So it's Darth Bane's holocron, which is pretty epic. And
That's awesome.
yeah,
And Nick, you should make that your starting screen video.
it's just a holocron spinning
And with that
audio.
sound. Yes.
That's a great idea.
And you could record that
Ooh.
sound and then jack up the volume so people could hear it.
Right. I'll just
And-
put it right up to the mic.
No,
I-
well, you would need to record it and then boost it up.
I
Yeah.
bet you could find a good recording of the monologue online.
I
Yeah.
bet you could.
Yeah.
It's awesome though. I was like so pleasantly surprised when I clicked it and then it started talking, and I realized, oh my god, that's Bane.
That's
So,
awesome.
Well, it was live.
Yeah, it was live on Marcus's
Comeback stream.
yes, Batu unboxing stream.
I was there for that. I
course you were.
didn't realize it was Bane's holocron.
Yes,
Wow, that's what a coincidence.
it's
That's
awesome.
your favorite Sith, and you got that holocron.
Now I'm curious to know if they're different. Wow, that was fantastic. Marcus also got a lightsaber keychain that's like an exact replica of Luke's first one / Anakin's, and he just poked himself in the eye with it by accident.
I laughed because I would have probably done the same thing if I had
Exactly.
it. So
I also played some Call of Duty with friend of the pod Joey Feta last night.
Which I called your bitch ass out and
Yes.
made you fucking turn on your stream. I'm like, "You're playing Call of Duty and you're not streaming it? Like, shut the fuck up and turn it on. You don't need the camera." And then the camera eventually came.
Yeah.
But what was sweet is I actually want to play zombies now because I watched you do it and it does look pretty dope.
Yeah.
So if you didn't stream that, I still wouldn't want to play zombies. But
Right.
now I want to play zombies.
Right. So we played 2 different game modes. So Call of Duty right now has a 80s action hero like event going on. So they added Rambo as a skin, and also
John McClane.
John McClane from Die Hard.
That's the
oh
skin
no
thing.
way.
Yes,
That's
you have to buy them obviously, but like, and then a lot of the game modes are 80s themed. So one of them is cranked. So they make like different game modes where it's cranked. So like that old Jason Statham movie, where like
right. If you slow down, you die.
if you slow down, you die. So in this, if you kill somebody, you have 30 seconds to kill someone else, or you explode. And in zombies, it's the same way. So like if you once you start killing a zombie at the beginning of the round, you have to keep killing zombies, or you explode, and the timer gets shorter and shorter as the rounds go up. So like you're constantly running around like trying to shoot zombies.
Oh, that's
which is
cool.
fantastic. And they're running at you.
Is the John McClane wearing a tank top and no shoes?
Of course he is.
That's awesome.
He's wearing a tank
That's
top.
great.
I forgot his bottoms, but it's like movie authentic, and he's no shoes.
That's great.
Yeah. I got, speaking of stream stuff, I got a brand spanking new logo, which if you go into the Working Class Nerds Discord, the link for which you can find all over the place at workingclassnerds.com, you can see it. It's epic.
Oh my God, you're the worst marketer ever. Or everybody, you can go to twitch.tv/NickVern51
That is also
and see
true.
it for yourself. Click that follow button and show Nick some love.
That's true.
So disappointed in you, Nick.
Let's go in the Wayback Machine.
Fail. Anyway,
So I also got this great new logo. You can go to twitch.tv/NickVern51.
where did the logo come from?
It came from Marcus.
So the guy who does all my logo stuff, his name's Karis. I commissioned him to do it because Nick needed it. And I feel like Nick is like I don't want to say a visual guy, but like Nick is he's the queen of procrastination. So like,
Yes.
if he can procrastinate something for just another 10 minutes, he will.
I do
But-
every morning.
Yes. But yeah, it's called the snooze button.
Yes.
But if you push him and you do something like this, now he has a new logo. Now that's going to drive him to stream more, and you push him.
Yeah.
Now there's no reason why he doesn't click the go live button.
Exactly. Yeah, this is a good point. Fair point.
The logo
there.
looks awesome, though. It looks
It's
really,
very
really
cool.
good.
It's actually Nick.
Yeah, it's me with like some Sith colored eyes
Mhm.
and like a Sith hood on, and then of course like the red and black theme, which is pretty epic.
Very cool.
Obviously I have finished Into the Dark because we're going to be chatting about it later, but I'm also most of the way through the newest Thrawn book, Thrawn Ascendancy.
So I started listening to it, and because we were doing Into the Dark, and I haven't read Into the Dark since it came out like 3 months ago or 2
Yeah.
months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So I started listening to it again. So I stopped the Thrawn book about halfway through.
Yeah.
I'll probably start it over. I think it's pretty good right now.
Yeah. I can be honest about it. I think it's my least favorite of the Thrawn books so far.
Well, I haven't gotten into the thick yet.
Yeah. I've got like 4 hours left on the thing.
Yeah, so you're probably about to jump on the crazy train.
Yeah.
I just feel like Heir to the Empire is the greatest Star Wars book ever written, and then Dark Force Rising, and what was the third one?
I like the
Whatever the original Thrawn trilogy was.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it was so good, and Timothy Zahn is an amazing author.
Yeah.
But I feel like even the second trilogy of Thrawn was good,
But not great.
No, it was good, but I think this trilogy is missing something because I know it's about the ascendancy, and clearly this trilogy is going to end with him being cast on that planet.
Yeah, being like kicked out of the ascendancy, and that's how he ends up joining the Empire.
Yeah, but you don't know if he's kicked out or he's just tricked to go there.
Right.
Like,
or maybe he volunteers or
kind of like
something.
Palpatine sent all the Jedi as far away from Coruscant as possible so he could execute Order 66.
Right.
Anyway, but so stay tuned because I'll talk about that once I finish the book too.
Okay. Yes, to clarify, this is Thrawn Ascendancy: Greater Good. So it's
the third book, right?
Second book in the newest trilogy.
It's the
There's
second.
So like I'm hoping, I read the description for the third book that comes out in August, and it seems like that's going to be a little more exciting. I just think like this is sort of an in between. There's not like a lot of like well defined like this is a villain, this is the conflict, you know.
Well, I think the ascendancy isn't like that.
Yeah,
I think it's very political and very like
conniving and
and like moral high ground, like conspiracy and like how can we screw Thrawn over and stuff like that.
Right.
I won't go into spoilers about that.
Yeah,
but yes.
So anywho, but I've had a great week, a great couple weeks actually. I'm a very, very happy camper. So Marcus, how's it going? And what have you been up to?
It's finally my turn.
Anyway, so I was going to talk about me a little bit more, but I guess we could talk to Marcus.
No, so
Show me what you got.
if you don't know, I went to Disney. Shout out to everybody who was pissed off that didn't know I was going to Disney. Sorry. Went to Disney. This time it was for my kids, but one day was for me.
Yes.
Like I was like on the Wednesday I was there, I was at Hollywood Studios. I said, like the kids needed their like little nappy poo and they were going to go to the pool. And I was like, see you later, everybody. I'm staying at Hollywood Studios all goddamn day. And
Is that where Galaxy's Edge is?
yes.
Yeah.
And so I decided before I went that I was going to do this. And I got this great idea on like, well, why not just stream it?
Yeah.
And, how many people in our community haven't had the opportunity to go to Disney World that want to go to Galaxy's Edge, but have seen pictures of it, but never like okay, like a live stream. Okay, he's standing here. How long does it take to walk through this place?
Right.
How big is it actually? Right. So I'll set the setting. I went and grabbed a glass of the blue milk for sure. That's how I started the stream. And I basically was probably about like 20 yards from the entrance tunnel. So you go through a tunnel to enter Batuu.
Yeah.
And I called that, I found out this time in Disney World, it's called transitional forests or caves. So basically in between Disney resorts, there's about 300 to 500 yards of woods.
Yeah.
And it's called transitional yards so that your
brain can reset kind of.
Correct. So you drive through a bunch of woods and now you go to Old Key West and it's like you're in Old Key West, Florida, or you go to Port Orleans and you're like in New Orleans.
Right.
It's like the separation of culture essentially.
Yeah.
So like this theme park is you go in under a tunnel into it. And so basically I started off, I just chatted with the stream. It was awesome. It was so cool. So many people came just to hang out with me, which I thought was so cool. And clearly they weren't there to see me. They were there to see all the cool Star Wars shit.
Right.
I was there to see you.
Bullshit.
And the Falcon.
Do you smell that?
Kitty, you better change your shoes. You just stepped in some serious shit.
It's my upper lip.
Got him.
Anyway, I took everybody for a ride. We went and saw all the A-Wings. We went and saw this and this. So like it was so cool. Like everybody was so awesome and everybody was so excited. And like, I feel like I played it off really well. Like I walked for like 25 feet with the camera pointing to the tiles on the stone tiles on the floor because I wanted the reveal of the Falcon to be like
epic.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We did get to see Kylo Ren. We got to see stormtroopers. We got to see Rey and Chewie. I got Chewie to bark at me, and it was all live on stream. It was so cool. And the best part about it at the end, like I was at the end and I was ready to show everybody the Falcon, and Disney cut my Wi-Fi off on the tablet, shut the stream off.
Oh, no way.
Just like that. Boom. And then I tried to like shut off the Wi-Fi and start streaming again. Disney was like, nope, you've done enough, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, I'm kidding about that, but I think like they were like, okay, this guy's been walking around Batuu for 40 minutes, just like getting in people's ways. Cause I totally was.
Yeah.
And, I didn't care, right? Like whatever, this is for my peeps.
Yeah.
And I did that. And then I bought some serious cool shit there.
Yes, you
like
did.
some wicked cool shit. And like
Can confirm.
yeah, so like out of this giant bag of stuff that I have, only 2 of the items are for me. Everything else are for my friends, and it's just who I am. Like, I'm so excited. Like, all my friends, and you know who you are going to be getting a package in the mail. And the only rule of the package is you have to open it up on your stream, because like I want that face to be recorded. You know what I mean?
It's a great idea, and it's so awesome of you.
And even if you're, or to catch the person if they're really fucking depressed, like, ugh, he got me this.
Right.
Like, that shit is weak. And now we'll all snap it like, you ungrateful bastard. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm super excited for that. And yeah, so Disney was fantastic. Oh, should I go on a rant about a rental car?
Yes, you should. And
Okay,
while you
we're
do
going to
that-
say, hey, if you own Hertz, if you own a Hertz or a part of the Hertz Corporation, you can jump off a cliff. Okay, you ruined my vacation. So we were supposed to go from Disney to a friend of mine bought a condo on the water, and in a different part of Florida. So we had plane tickets that landed in Orlando and that were taking off from Tampa because we were driving to this other place. We rented a rental car 8 weeks prior to us going. Okay. And when I showed up to the Hertz to rent the car, they didn't have a car for me.
What?
Yep. So a typical corporate business is all about bottom line. So in 2020, how many cars do you think they rented? None. So let's say they had a fleet of 3,000 vehicles, but they only rented 1,000 of them. They sold the other 2,000 because they were like, let's make the money and we'll just get more if we need them. The problem is now is post-COVID is everybody's playing catch up on cars and everything else. So they can't buy the cars fast enough to be able to keep their fleet up. They're down in Florida. They're down rental cars by 60%.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know this. So I took.
That's why you make a fucking reservation so that you have
That's
a
correct.
car.
That's correct.
Bastards.
So, yep. So I took an Uber to the Hertz, which was $35. They didn't have it. I took another Uber to the Orlando International Airport for $40. Stood in line for 2 hours at two different like rental car places for both of them to tell me, sorry, we don't have a car for you. Then I had to Uber back to the hotel and break the news that we don't have a rental car. We got to change our flight. Now, mind you, we were supposed to leave that next morning. I went and talked to Disney and said, hey, can we stay an extra day? Because we couldn't get a flight the next day or the actual Monday that we were leaving. We had to leave on Sunday. Disney said, sorry, we don't have any rooms. You can switch resorts, but we can't guarantee you travel to the airport. Oh shit. What do you do? So we ended up getting a hotel at the Orlando International Airport, which was fantastic. It was a Hyatt. It was fun. I loved it. My favorite part, I don't know about you guys. People watching in an airport is fantastic.
I think that's primetime people watching.
Yes. So I watched a husband and a wife argue all the way to TSA, and they got pulled off the side because they were screaming at each other. And they were like, TSA was like, no, you guys can't do this. Get in this room.
How old were they? How old was the couple?
Middle-aged.
Wow.
Early 50s. Oh, yeah. They were going toe to toe.
Through TSA?
Yeah, in the TSA line, they were arguing, screaming at each other. But then the other thing is like, so I played a strengths, right? I saw a family at like 10 o'clock at night dragging their like 4-year-old daughter whining because she's so tired through the airport to catch a plane. I'm like, why would you ever torture your kid like that?
Yeah.
Like, that's like torture for a kid. You ever see a kid at 8 o'clock at night? They got bags under their eyes and they're dragging ass.
Yeah.
Or that's my kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe some others aren't. But either way, my Disney trip was awesome. The end was a little messed up. But the other thing I learned, all little kids, all they want to do is swim in the pool. That's all they want. They want to go to Disney. But as soon as they get a taste of the pool,
Oh, yeah.
by like 11 in the morning, my kids were like, can we just go to the pool? Can we just go to the pool? And I was like, no, we can't just go to the pool. We're going to ride some more rides. Ugh, I don't want to. Finally, like, I was like, all right, let's go to the pool. And that entire day, the day before we left, I was in the pool with my kids all day.
That's awesome.
If you've ever been anywhere where there's like a constant breeze, you don't feel how hot the sun is on you. I woke up the next morning and my forehead looked like it was like I dipped it in the pot because I was boiling a lobster.
Dude, the top of your head, like by your hairline, it's still like looks like red, kind of like chewed up.
Somebody hit Marcus with a cheese grater.
Oh my god, yes, that's precisely what happened. And Marcus just like choked on his beverage, which is very funny.
Okay. Disney was awesome. Presents incoming, friends. So I did not purposely I did not bring my laptop. I'm really rambling on, huh?
Dude, who cares?
No.
I don't care. I don't care.
It's our show. You can do what you want.
I can do what I want.
Do what you want.
You'll dance if you want to.
Do what
Or
you
in this
want.
case- Yeah. see?
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I didn't want to bring my laptop because I did not want to play any computer games.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be tempted to play SWTOR. I didn't want to be tempted to play Call of Duty or anything like that. I just wanted to be disconnected. So I brought my Switch and I bought Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is like the Greek mythology Zelda Breath of the Wild clone.
It looks very interesting.
It's an Ubisoft game. Let me tell you something. If the new Star Wars open world game has quality of like lore like that game, that Star Wars game is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really, really fantastic. Like amazing. So I got to play that. I played it on the plane there and back. I played it one night, just chilling. Because some nights I just can't sleep because I usually stay up until like in between like 11 and midnight every day.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm a crazy man when it comes to that.
You're
But
Greek.
like, yeah.
Yeah,
sleep
you
when
blame
you're
everything on
dead.
being Greek. Right. What you can't philosophize unless you're staying
That's
up till
right.
all hours of the evening.
The problem when I'm home, okay, I'll tell you what the problem is. When I'm home and I'm sitting in front of my computer, so I'll stop playing video games and Twitch has become
Your TV.
my TV.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
I love watching everybody's streams. I love it. I love it so much. There's so many people that I love watching. And no, I'm not going to get sucked into the trap of naming it because I'll forget somebody and I don't want to disappoint them.
Oh.
But like,
I'll name people that I.
well,
hung out
yes,
with
well,
Tuesday.
you can, but like for me,
But it was
well,
only
that's
3
one
of them.
day. But like for me, like I like watching everybody.
Yeah.
Some nights when I'm just playing games, I'll have like 9 Twitch channels up
Oh man.
and be chatting in all of them because I want to be involved in all of them
Right.
because they're all awesome people. And like, I love new streamers. New streamers are great before they even hit affiliate, and we can help them in our community
Yeah.
get to affiliate
Yes.
because they need 50 followers. Like anybody can do the 8 hours and in 7 days or whatever that 15 days, whatever that timeline is
Yeah.
to make it. But like 50 followers is tough. Let me help you. Let our community help you get there.
Damn right. Fuck
Right.
yes.
Right.
Yes. And how many times, Kitty, in your stream, did somebody come in and go, I'm almost at affiliate. I've got 15 more to go. And you're like, chat, let's go right now.
Yep.
You stop what you're doing. Same thing in my channel. There's a couple people that we've gotten there in the last 2 weeks or maybe a month. It's just what our community does. And that's what I love.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So now, once you help that person or you just enjoy somebody's stream, how do you not want to be there? Like especially if it's a night I'm not streaming, like before the show, I was in Rayu's stream and I just loved it because everybody has their own personality and it's
Yeah.
their own style of streaming, whether they're loud, they're flamboyant, they're belligerent, whatever that may be. Everybody has their own style. And that's what I love. It's like a sitcom, but live.
Right.
Yeah.
Their own personal. It's like their own. It's like Kitty Kisses Seinfeld, Nick Verne Seinfeld, Marcus Seinfeld. It's all of our own sitcoms, and we make it what we want, right?
Right.
Nobody else is telling us how to do our stream. And if somebody doesn't want to watch our stream, you just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so many out there.
Well, right. There's so many people. Like I'll give an example. There's people in your stream or my stream that don't watch each other's stream.
Right.
So maybe I'm not the cup of tea for X person.
Right.
Or maybe, Kitty, you're not the type of person for X person, but they like my stream. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's pretty awesome. The last thing I'll say for Twitch is I'm starting a campaign. It's a hashtag. I'm going to make the command on my channel. It's hashtag Kai for partner. Kai, the number 4 partner. So Chimeri is awesome. He's almost there. Like the community's really going to step up for him, and we are going to come together and really promote him
Nice.
and get him to partner because he's so close. Like he's got a ways to go, but like he's got the momentum to do it, and he's moving into an apartment himself. So when he comes back, like we're going to really we're going to really help him as much as we possibly can to get to that because
I'm
he's
in.
next. Yep. Everybody. Like,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
calling
obviously.
everybody in the nerds community out there or your own community, like hashtag Kai for partner, because he's going to do it. And then once he does it, that's going to be such a boost for the SWOTOR community because, like, when was the last time SWOTOR had a new partner named? It was SWOTORista, but how long ago was that?
That was a long
You know,
time ago.
exactly.
Right.
And the one before that was Peter the Cellcath. So, like, other than that, there's no real partners. So, like, it's time for the SWOTOR community to really step up and get him.
Get the partner.
Yeah, Kai for partner. Anyway, wow, I've talked a lot.
Hey,
Did
you
I'm
know,
so excited. Go ahead.
what you were talking about Twitch and listening to people. I have Twitch on my Xbox on my television, and sometimes if I'm just cleaning my room or whatever I'm doing, I turn it on just to have it going. I'm like, oh, I love this person, and I just put it on just to have them talking in the background. And what you're saying about channels, it's so true. Everybody's got their own little thing, and it's great. And if it's not your cup of tea, that's cool. Go do your thing.
Well, you know what's funny is I'll give you an example. Everybody, like, I'm so jealous of some people's streams because they have like shout out commands. Like, they have like a command list, and then you can type in this command, and all of a sudden the stream will start talking to you. Like, I don't have that. Or when like somebody like shouts out somebody, their like logo comes on the screen. I don't have that. I would love that. I don't know how to do that. Right. And Kitty, you're going to say, oh, I can show you how to do that. But like, that's what makes everybody's stream different. Is everybody's, like, for me, and I can only talk about my own stream in this sense. Like, when somebody follows me, it's Jabba's laugh. What is more iconic than Jabba's ho 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 ho? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, anybody can recognize that.
I mean, one would argue You Never Walk Alone from Anfield is pretty iconic.
Fuck that. Liverpool sucks.
That's my follow sound. Is the crowd at Anfield, which is the stadium for Liverpool, singing their signature song.
And he only did this in spite of me.
Exactly.
And every time, so like, think about how many followers you get.
Yeah.
Every time somebody follows him, that fucking chant
like,
comes on, and it's his player
never
dancing around, and you're like,
alone. This player, how dare you? That's fucking Stevie Gerrard. Are you
listen,
kidding me? Have some respect.
you unclassy son of a bitch. Anyway, so like, and when somebody subscribes to Kitties, it's like a half naked dude dancing.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Because
It
that
is.
is hilarious. I
But that's
still
what I
laugh
mean.
when I see that.
Yes, but that's what I mean. It's like, that's what makes streaming so special. And for me, I just want to support everybody. I just want to hang out with everybody all the time.
Yep.
So the only way I can do that sometimes is by opening up 9 channels and trying to chat as much as I possibly can in those, because I want to be involved in all of them. But I will say, I'm going to set up a timer on my computer that if I have Twitch open and it's midnight, I have to shut it off, because I've like, when I came back from Disney, I think I stayed up until like 1:30 in the morning watching streams.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because I was loving it. Like, it was like it was better than a show. Like, this stream was better than the Mandalorian episode that I watched for an hour. Like, I was laughing, I was joking, I was like, could barely keep up with the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awesome. And then I really like to support streamers.
Yeah.
Like, I do okay for myself. And like, I love help. Like, I like initiating stuff to get the other people to initiate stuff, and like
get a hype train going.
Yes. Or like whatever, or just like give to somebody, because like seeing somebody's face when you give something, their smile.
There's the choo-choo train, the whistle.
The choo-choo.
Wait, was that... Hold on, quick question. Is that a digital one, or is that an old, like a wooden...
This is a wooden train whistle.
Yes! I used to have one of those too.
I used to play a lot of Jimmy Rogers.
Oh, I thought he was going to say skin flute.
I don't play the skin
Say that-
flute.
say
I
that
play
into
the
the mic.
piccolo.
You play the what?
I don't play the skin flute. I play the diccolo.
The diccolo.
Hey,
It's a different instrument, okay?
We may have to put a disclaimer on this episode.
I flag them all as explicit.
Oh yeah, then that's good. Green
Yeah.
light.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're fine.
I don't even remember where I was.
You're just thinking about Dickolos now, aren't you?
Dickolos and
Actually, I think
skin
I'm about
floats.
that big.
Just
fit.
boners
Anyway.
flying around with cherub wings on them.
Wow. Okay, in gaming news, what
What have you been doing?
So I've been playing SWTOR. My Nightmare team that runs Tuesdays and Wednesdays started officially started this week, and we're doing Nightmare Explosive Conflict. We killed Toth and Zorn, woot woot, and we're doing progression on the tanks. And everybody's saying, "Oh, why are you going back to Explosive Conflict?" Because the team that I was on, that was about halfway through with the final boss, which is Kephis, the team quit.
Ooh.
Like after 3 or 4 weeks of 3 weeks of progging the boss, the team quit. It just fell apart. And I was so heartbroken. And I've been working so hard to get a full Nightmare clear. Once I do that, if I do hard mode for the rest of my life, I'd be fine. I've just been working so hard to get a full operation clear as a Nightmare tank. Yeah. Is Luke laying right there?
No,
Oh, I thought you were petting Luke.
no, I was itching my ankle.
Anyway,
What the fuck are you talking about?
Luke is the name of Marcus's golden retriever. So I reached down to scratch my ankle.
I thought he was
And
petting Luke.
And Marcus couldn't see what I was doing. So.
Usually when Nick's here, Luke is laying right next to him.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, he usually lays right next to him. So when he bent down, I thought he was
It's petting the dog.
I thought you were petting Luke.
Yeah.
Luke.
For some reason in my head, I saw do you remember back in the day they had the large size Star Wars figures?
Yes.
I pictured
like the
a
Barbie
Luke was near you, Nick, and you were petting it for some reason.
Oh.
Just
And then you said,
stroking
"No,
the head
it's
of the
my-"
doll.
Yeah, and then you said, "No, it's my ankle," and I'm like, "Why does a Luke doll lying on the floor?"
Meanwhile,
Back at the ranch.
so long story short, it's not a long story short. It's a long story.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, last thing, everybody that watches my stream or listens to the podcast or is in our Discord, which for the record, thank you so much, everybody that's in the Discord.
Yes.
You guys have made this Discord out of control.
It's popping.
I
can't believe how just people are just hey, good morning, what's up? And everyone's just chatting about their day. Yeah. Marcus, thank you for setting it up.
No,
This
it's
is Marcus's idea.
Well, yeah, I got my idea because if you go to Kitty's Discord, they go crazy in there. And some of the shit is hilarious.
There's some funny stuff. Yeah.
Yes,
just
that's what I
chaos.
mean. And I feel like the Discord really I don't really I do some stuff on social media, but not really. If you really want to connect with me or Nick or our community, just join the Discord.
Yep.
You go from being outside to balls deep right away into the Discord. You know what I mean?
You could have said cannonball, completely underwater.
Yeah, well, this is an explicit podcast.
We're going extra explicit.
Well, you guys started off with bidets and poop and dark side.
What do you
holes
mean?
and all
That's
this
what
shit.
it's just. It's
I know,
hygiene,
but
sir.
this. Yeah, but you guys set the tone.
We don't need to. We don't need to talk about how sometimes when it goes up your pooper a little bit, it's kind of nice.
Yeah. Well,
It's the unwritten bidet rule. Okay.
It is. And you give a little push there. Boop.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my God. we are totally putting a disclaimer on this.
Yeah, I'll put a disclaimer. This is adult themes.
Yeah, adult themes.
Yes.
We should
We're
have
going into the dark.
We should have Kitty started off with disclaimer. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
Disclaimer. Today's podcast is for adults only.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
Is there any SWTOR news?
Well, one last thing.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for coming to my stream. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you to all the SWTOR players, streamers, viewers. You guys make this community freaking awesome.
That was a perfectly timed bell, sir.
Thank you.
So in SWTOR news, we have a new credit catch-up system for Galactic Seasons, which begins on Thursday, May 27th.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes.
I didn't
that
know
is
about
today,
this.
actually.
I didn't either.
So what is the credit catch-up system? The credit catch-up system is a way for players to unlock eligible Galactic Seasons reward levels with in-game credits to catch back up in their Galactic Seasons progress. It is designed to help players who have fallen behind our anticipated Galactic Seasons progression cadence, or for those players who are just now joining the season or may try the season at a later time. So how does credit catch-up work? Once active, the credit catch-up system progresses day over day, allowing reward levels up to that day to be unlocked with credits. This means that starting Thursday the 27th today, reward level 1 will be eligible for credit catch-up. On Friday the 28th, up to reward level 2 will be eligible, and on Saturday, reward level 3, and so on and so forth. So this will continue until the catch-up system reaches our current max catch-up level, which is reward level 95. Once it reaches that point, all reward levels up to reward level 95 will remain available for credit catch-up throughout the remainder of the season, allowing players who have fallen far behind or who have come in near the tail end of the season an opportunity to catch up in their progression. So how do I know which reward levels are catch-up eligible? Any reward level is eligible for catch-up to show the credit icon. Any reward level which is eligible for catch-up will show the credit icon on them with the phrase catch-up. When a player, that is catch-up with a C, not a K, by the way. When a player clicks on that, they will be presented with a purchase option of either cartel coins or credits. So will I be eligible to use the system? That depends on where you are in the current progression of the season and where you may be later in your progression of the season. If you are above level 1 when catch-up begins on the 27th, you will not see any changes. If you are entirely new to Galactic Season starting on the 27th or today, you will see reward level 1 as an eligible catch-up. Players become eligible for catch-up if they are behind the day-over-day progression of the catch-up system. As an example, if a player joined the season on Tuesday, June 1st, they would be eligible to use the catch-up system to advance to reward level 6, because that's the 6th day of the season. If you are a player who has been advancing through the season naturally, chances are you have never encountered the system, and that is perfectly okay. The system is intended as a means for players who find themselves coming in late to the season or falling behind in the progression a chance to catch back up. If you never encounter it, then you can rest assured that you are making ample progress in the season.
So basically, they're going to make a credit sink in the game. So if people aren't grinding for it, you're going to be able to do it. Right. Like, you'll just be able to pay credits in case you don't have cartel coins, essentially. I think, well, it's good for people to collect credits, but like, I'm already done with Galactic Seasons, level 100. I'm done. Day one.
Did you hear Chill and I talking about it on Utini Cast?
Not yet.
So
I've been listening to Into the Dark, so I haven't listened to any podcast.
I equated your approach to Galactic Seasons like Kramer when they did the anti-masturbation episode, where he just comes in and he plops some money on the table. He's like, I'm out.
Okay, hear me out why. And I've said this before. When I play the game, I want to play the game the way I want to play the game. I do not want anybody to tell me how to play a video game, because at that point it becomes a job. Right? So when I log in and play any game, if I want to play Call of Duty, I'm going to play Domination. That's what I'm going to play, because that's the mode I want to play, and that's what I'm going to play. Nobody's going to tell me you got to play Hardpoint.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or Jacked or whatever.
Yeah.
The same thing with SWOTOR. Like, I don't want them to tell me that I have to do PvP or I have to do Galactic Starfighter, because I don't want to crash my ship into asteroids for the next 3 hours because just to get my Galactic Seasons. It's not who I am.
I understand that.
Right. And so it costs 10,000 cartel coins. What's 10,000 cartel coins in dollars?
So anyway, $50, I think. No,
$1 million, $2 million,
$1 billion. I think 20. Well, I'm thinking Call of Duty points.
Exchange rate for cartels.
I think it's about $50. $55.
$56.50.
55.
1,200 cartel coins.
Eh, 55.
I just want
Just go to Amazon.
It's $40.
Amazon?
Okay, it's $40.
There we go.
So I look at it like this. If I have the cartel coins, you spend 10,000, but you get 4,000 of them back.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really whatever. But what I mean is you're getting cartel coins back. So it's like you pay a lot up front, but you get it back. But here's the thing. For a guy like me, I'm only helping BioWare make money.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. If I don't have to grind, perfect. I have the stronghold on day one. It has like 3 decorations in it. You know what I mean? But like I got it. It's cool, but I'm done. And now I'm stress free. I know other people that, and they love it. And they're talking about, oh, I just did GSF and I did all this. I got my I hit my Galactic Seasons cap for the day. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, awesome. I'm glad you love it. But I wouldn't.
Right.
So I just paid my way to the end.
I love the idea that that's an option, because if you don't want to, you shouldn't have to. And having the option to just, cartel coin it, bam, done. C'est la vie, more power to you. And now with this new system that I didn't even know existed, being able to pay credits, that's great too. Because I was not into it when it first happened. I was like, shit, now I'm going to have to do stuff. But then I kind of went, all right, I'm just going to play it if I want to play it. And I've gotten into Galactic Starfighter. I love it. It's super fun. But I do understand your point of view completely, Marcus. And having the ability to do that, more power to you.
I'm a big fan of that whole process. I like the system in Call of Duty that they have with the Battle Pass also. And they have a similar buy-in system where you can pay, I think it's like $20. You can buy the Battle Pass, which is like
10?
No.
Or is it 15?
It's like to just get access to the Battle Pass, it's like $5 or something. It's an amount where like you can get the Call of Duty's equivalent of cartel coins, that amount of in-game just by playing to like get access to the Battle Pass. And then you can, if you want, you can pay like $20 or so and unlock the first 30 levels, the first 20 levels out of 100, like if you pay $20. So you get like a jump start, and that's cool. I'm fine with that.
And something that Call of Duty does that's awesome is if you finish the the Battle Pass, they give you the next one for free.
Right.
You get the buy-in for free.
Right.
So essentially, they reward you with the next Battle Pass
for grinding,
by grinding and completing the next the Battle Pass you were just in, or finishing the season. Yeah, I like the Galactic Seasons idea because a lot of people are playing the game and a lot of people are doing objectives that people haven't done since the game came out. Like there's people doing like black hole dailies. So for me, like, I've never done daily. I think I've done like 3 of the daily areas a couple times. It's not me. I'm a terrible MMO player. I think that's what it is. I do it to play with my friends.
Yeah, I get you. That makes sense.
In AIE news,
Tuesdays are our mandatory fun night, which means the fun is mandatory and attendance is not.
Speaking of that,
okay,
you should make a mandatory fun night for Call of Duty. Like just an open night. If you want to play Call of Duty, like you and Feta are playing it anyway.
This is a great point.
But go into the AIE Discord, just start up and start doing it. Pick one night a week that, hey, I'm playing Call of Duty on
Mondays or whatever.
Mondays, and I'm going to be playing Call of Duty. If you play Call of Duty, maybe nobody will. Maybe people will pop in.
Push comes to shove, I'm going to play and stream it anyway, so who cares?
That's correct.
Right.
Anyways,
this is a great idea. More details to come.
And we switch from the best side, which is the imp side, and every other week we go back to the
Sunshine and Rainbows at Republican side.
Yay!
Yeah,
where they don't kill things, they befriend them.
Yes.
Anyways, so Fridays are the place to be in AIE.
Yes, indeed. So the first Friday of every month is Master Mode Flashpoints, which are the harder flashpoints. You go through and do the hardest difficulty flashpoints. The second Friday of every month is hard mode training. The third Friday of every month is achievement hunting. So you're finding world bosses, you're finding holocrons, you're finding datacrons. I forgot which version is the hidden one in SWTOR. I've got Sith holocrons on the brain.
And then this coming Friday and
Yes.
the fourth Friday.
The fourth Friday of every month is the most important day of the entire month. Forget when your rent is due. Forget when the bills are due. The electric bill can wait because the fourth Friday of every month is Mega. That's the monthly Epic Guild activity.
Mega. What are we doing this month, which is tomorrow?
Well, first, they have to buy a ticket. We'll sell you the whole ticket, but you'll only need the edge. So this Friday is Where in the Galaxy is SEMA San Diego.
So Where in the Galaxy is SEMA San Diego? We basically put SEMA in a place on a planet that we don't tell you about until the day of, and then we send you off all over that planet. You have to search and do ridiculous shit to get the clues to be able to find SEMA. It is the most ridiculous thing that we make you do, but it's mega fun.
Mega.
So if you guys want to come, it's tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. I would suggest you get in the Discord about 8:55 Eastern, just so you can like get your tunes ready and be ready to go. The thing will start right around 9 sharp, so be there.
And if all this sounds fun to you, go to aie-guild.org. Get our Discord information, the link for which is in the top right corner, and ask for a guild invite. Whether or not you play Star Wars The Old Republic or any of the other games that we play, we would love to have you.
You know what I was just thinking about, Nick?
What?
How bad you must have to pee, because we've been talking for an hour.
Yeah, I drank a gallon of water at work today. I drank half a liter of a water bottle currently and one 16-ounce cerveza. So I think my bladder is about to explode, and we'll be right back.
Jeez, Nick, hurry up. We're trying to finish this podcast.
And we're back. So today we're discussing the newest High Republic novel, Into the Dark. We're going through point by point the plot details and talking about what we enjoyed, what we didn't. This is going to be 110% spoiler filled. This is your spoiler warning if you've not read or listened to Into the Dark and want to, do not listen to this section of the podcast because we will spoil the whole book.
It's so good.
Yeah, I like it too.
Do we want to just chat real quickly about like what our general thoughts were?
No.
Okay. So the book opens.
Well, the reason why I say that is because like I can say I liked it, but I feel like once we like start talking about it,
It'll just come out.
It's just gonna happen.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so-
agree.
Like I want to spill my spooge all over this book.
We definitely need the disclaimer. This is an extra.
I just
extra
lost
intense.
like 50
Daddy, why are the
followers.
pages all flaky?
Oh my god!
These are all stuck together. All right. So the book opens.
Hey, wait. Should we just start this whole segment over?
No, it's just
No.
fantastic. Keep it going. No, we have integrity. Okay. Once you're committed, you finish the project. So the book opens on Coruscant with Padawan Reeth Silas and Master Jorah Mali tracking down and capturing a group trying to steal construction supplies. After Jorah, the Master, drops the news that she and Reeth will be leaving for a new mission on Starlight Beacon in the Outer Rim frontier. Reeth is distraught by this news as he would rather have stayed in the big city and keep spending his time with the Jedi Archives being a fucking nerd.
Listen,
Nerd.
listen.
Mark's just like, I relate to that.
No.
I liked my comics.
I like.
Yes, I do. Listen, okay, you fucks. All right, listen. The last place I would ever want to go is to the Outer Rim. There's nothing in the Outer Rim that interests me. Okay, like Coruscant would be all I need. I want to see shitty people. I'll go to the fucking lower, like dark
Sections.
areas. Yeah, if I want to go hang out with the bougies, I'll go to the top section. You know what I mean? Like Coruscant is all you need. So I feel for Reeth.
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah, but I gotta talk shit.
Well, no, I know that. I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
feel for the guy.
I
You
get
know
it.
what?
It's like, hey, you're gonna use a bathroom that is all like has a nice tile shower,
And a
and
bidet.
you're gonna go to a place that you're gonna be washing yourself in a 5-gallon bucket. Good luck. You excited?
I would stay on Coruscant as well. But
Yeah.
it's perfect for the hero's journey, the reluctant, hero, which is great. And I really liked the fact that he is a nerd, that he enjoys books more than actual adventure. And then as he, as the story progresses, he really blossoms. It's so good.
It's cool how, because I think a few times he mentions like, oh, there's no trainings about this scenario that I'm stuck in now.
Right. He's always
like, oh, I got to just figure it out, I guess.
Yeah. He's always trying to find like a glossary entry in his mind.
Right. So to combat this bit of sort of, not upsetness, but Reith is grumpy about going to the Outer Rim. So his master says that he needs to find balance in himself, not just continue to do what he wants to do. And Jorah poses the question, why can no Jedi cross the Kyber Arch alone? Which stumps Reith, and he dwells on this for basically the duration of the book. So weeks later, Jorah has left, but Reith stayed behind to finish one of his classes. He barely makes it to the docking bay in time after his farewell party. Unfortunately, the ship meant to transport him broke down, so he's awaiting a new ship. That's when he meets Jorah's first Padawan, Des Ryden, the polar opposite of Reith due to his sense of adventure and travel. Joining the two on their trip is Orla Jareni?
Jarlani.
Orla, who recently announced her intentions of becoming a Wayseeker, which is a Jedi who operates independently of the Council.
That's what I'd be.
A Wayseeker?
Yeah, I'd just be like, hey, this is great. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye-bye.
And Master Comac Vitus? Vitus. I forget how they pronounced it. A famous Jedi scholar. Orla and Comac previously worked together as Padawans and share past trauma that is revealed through flashbacks throughout the entirety of the book.
So,
can I talk about the flashbacks?
Yes, please do. Get into it.
So listening on, maybe in the physical book this is clear, but in the audiobook, because they keep flashing back and forth between Orla and Comac's adventure in present tense with Reith, and present times, and then they flash back to Comac and Orla in like 25 years earlier.
Right.
But when they flash back, initially it says 25 years later in the audiobook, but then when they come back to present, they never say anything. So I'm just like, throughout the whole book, I was constantly confused. Like, is this 25 years ago? Or is this, they said something about Reith, so it must be present now. You know what I mean? So I was like constantly confused as I was listening. I
was really confused. It would take me a couple lines to kind of realize where they were in the timeline. But the second time I listened to it, it was so obvious.
Wow.
Which was really, really, I think that I enjoyed, because as soon as Marcus said that he was re-listening to it, I was like, all right, I got to re-listen to it too. The second time around on this book, I really, really liked it. Like it seemed that everything was crystal clear. Like, I don't know. I think I enjoyed it more because, when you first go through a book, you're trying to remember who's who and all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's cemented by the second time around, and I enjoyed it much more. And I seem to kind of enjoy the characters a lot more the second time.
That makes sense.
I do agree with that a lot, because before coming into this new era, I find it's harder to follow because you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
There's nothing of a reference. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I don't feel like these books grab you like Darth Bane did.
Right.
Like the Darth Bane series, like immediately you were sucked in,
gripped in, following.
Right.
Bane,
like
yeah.
maybe it's because it was Darth Bane. Right.
Right.
But like, there's nobody in there that, like I've listened to some books where it was like mediocre, and then all of a sudden they're like, well, Princess Leia walks through the door, and you're like, all right, I know what's going on now. Okay, Princess Leia, boom. And like you can relate, where this is all new people and they've never been on the screen, and you almost have to like close your eyes and imagine what they would be.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes when they explain people, I'll rewind it on my phone like 6 times to try to understand what they're saying about this person. so I can understand what they look like in real life.
That's why I sent you guys that link before we started with all the pictures, because I have in my head canon of what they look like. But as soon as I see, like a drawing of it or their idea of what the character might look like, it really like solidifies the character for me. Especially
it makes the character real.
Yeah, well, yeah, it does, but it also, like, I don't know why, but it just makes it canon in my head. Like like I said, solidifies. I'm like, okay, that's what they look like. Okay, I got it. And I don't know if that's me kind of thinking, not thinking that I'm thinking that they look right, if that makes any sense. But
yeah, I get you.
Oh, it does.
Seeing the drawings that they have of them really helps, because I'm like,
yes,
I'm like, ooh, or sometimes I'll even confuse the characters. And once I know what they look like, then I'm like, all right, I know what Comac looks like. I know what Wreath looks like. I know what Geode looks like.
Oh my God.
Right. Geode.
Which we'll get into.
Yes,
I'm gonna get into it in
I
about
just have one
2
more
minutes.
thing to say. But I also believe, like, Light of the Jedi was much more easy for me to picture the characters because Mark Thompson does different voices for everybody.
Yeah.
So it almost like separates, the audiobook quality. I'm not saying the narrator for Into the Dark isn't good.
Yeah. It's just like Mark Thompson's like elite.
Yes, like
Yeah.
there's a voice for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like Thrawn. The Thrawn that I know is in the audiobook version, not the Thrawn in the shows,
Right.
in Rebels.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
But anyway, so back to the story.
So Wreath's replacement ship is the Vessel, crewed by the eccentric captain Leox Jassi, the young and impressionable co-pilot Affie Hollow, and the navigator Geode, who is a Vintian, which is essentially a large sentient rock. So can I just say, one of my favorite parts about the whole book is every time they mention Geode, like, he's a rock and he never says a word. He's literally a rock. Like, I don't know how he moves. He doesn't really move anywhere. All of a sudden he's in a different place and they're like, oh, where's Geode? But like, he doesn't have legs. He's literally a rock that they just
he's like a monolith.
Yes.
He's like a 4 foot tall monolith.
Yes. And like all the time throughout the whole book, they personify the crap out of him. They'll be like, Geode's silence spoke volumes. I was like,
he's a crazy man.
He was like, dude, yeah, it's like,
gotta slow down, Geode.
I can't go out drinking with Geode. He's out of his mind. It's like, he just stands there. So they do a ton of stuff like that.
What I really loved about the crew, now that we've brought them up, is the fact that the book didn't make the Jedi characters more likable than the crew of the Vessel. Like,
yes,
everybody, all the characters were equally as interesting, and they were all very, very different. And their interaction with each other was great. I loved it. Like, Geode is my favorite character in the book.
Mine too. Geode and Leox are my two favorites.
Leox is so fantastic. He's the one that I identify most. And also I realized that he is the Yoda of this book. And I like that it's not the Jedi. He is the Yoda. He's the one with all the wisdom.
That's very true. Spoiler, I guess. Leox is super into spice, so he's essentially like a stoner.
Oh my God. Yeah. So instead of smoking a pipe or a blunt or a joint or something all the time, he just chews on a spice stick 24/7.
Yeah. He's constantly stoned. It's awesome.
It's fantastic.
And his dialect is so fantastic.
Like
the way he's got like
speaks.
a southern drawl. He's got like that southern kind of drawl.
He's like a Matthew McConaughey who's stoned, kind of.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And everybody, when they first meet Leox, is always the same. Like, is his shirt unbuttoned down to his navel with beads hanging out? And he's just like slowly walking, slowly talking. He's great. He's a great
I love
character.
Leox.
And for me, I really like Affie Hollow.
Yep.
Yeah, I did too.
She's really
because-
determined.
Yeah, she's really determined and she wants to help people. But like in the book, the whole time, I feel like there's something that she knows, but she doesn't know. And like the whole time they're talking about her mom. And it's like, okay, this kid is a part of this guild. And but she knows her mom, but she doesn't know her mom.
Yeah, her mom's like I think it's not her actual mom, right?
No,
Yeah, it is.
she was adopted.
She was adopted
Oh.
by the lady whose name's beginning with an S. Let me keep reading and let's find out more. So once the Jedi get situated on the vessel, they jump into hyperspace. Affie and Leox talk about their curiosity about the Jedi. Elsewhere on the ship, Orla and Cormac bring up unpleasant memories from their shared past in a flashback to the deadly Iram. I don't know how to pronounce that properly.
Iram Aronian.
Aronia. Yes, Iram Aronia crisis. I'm going to say the double E in the future. Excuse me. The calm is short-lived as hyperspace starts to get turbulent, and the vessel's passengers notice inexplicable debris shooting around hyperspace. Affie, horrified, says the debris looks like pieces of the Legacy Run,
Which is awesome because that's tying us back to
Light of the Jedi.
and that is the first point in this book where I was sucked in.
Right.
Like everything that happened prior to this, I was like, okay, this is whatever. But then as soon as they were like, oh my God, we're getting pulled out of hyperspace Legacy Run, like my ears perked up like I was a German Shepherd.
Right. So the Legacy Run was a cargo ship largely that also had passengers, and this ship is also like a cargo ship. And both ships are in the same like shipping guild
Yeah,
called
they're
the
in the
Bind
Bind
Guild.
Yeah.
Yes, BYNE, Bind Guild.
Did you have something to add?
Yeah, I when they brought this up, I knew it was going to happen at some point. But as soon as they brought up the Legacy Run and then these guys were affected by the, hyperspace being messed up, I just got really excited thinking, oh, okay, because some of the people in Light of the Jedi that we just got introduced to and just suddenly died, I went, oh, this is going to be cool because I bet that those people that died are going to be the people in this book are going to know them.
Right.
And I just went, oh, this is great. This is going to be really cool because they are going to be shedding light on something that was unclear in the first book. And I got really excited as well.
Absolutely. I think we do get some of that later in the book, actually.
Yes.
So Leox finds the quickest way out of hyperspace, which turns out to be in the middle of nowhere space. And Affie wonders why the ship had these coordinates already in place. So he punched something in the computer, and the ship goes, yep, we can go right here, pre-programmed. I already got this, no problem. So once they're in real space, meaning out of hyperspace, they soon find out that hyperspace routes are shut down across the entire galaxy. So they're stuck in this middle of nowhere place. Meanwhile, Reith and the vessel crew find out that there are 11 other ships in that area that had to jump out of hyperspace. One ship sent a distress signal and tells the vessel crew that it's just a young girl named Nan and her elderly guardian. Just a young girl. I don't know if Nan's the elderly guardian or not, but anyways, Leox then discovers an old space station in the vicinity, saying that they all need to seek refuge immediately because the system's dying star is about to have a massive solar flare. So they got to go to this. All the ships in the vicinity have to go to the space station to seek shelter.
Right.
So as they and the other ships approach the station, Reith quickly deduces the structure was built by the ancient Amaxines. When they board, they find the station overrun with plants and 8T gardening droids. The Jedi also find several eerie statues that give off strong feelings of the dark side of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got all these weird different ships coming to the space station. It's full of plants, it's full of gardening droids, and it's full of dark side statues.
Right.
And it's made by a race or species that is no longer around,
Right.
basically.
And the Jedi are like, okay, there's something weird going on here.
Yeah,
but they
because
couldn't pinpoint it.
Right. So Reith and Nan, one of the people, is Nan an old person?
Nan is the young girl.
Okay, got it. Nan is the young girl and the older guardian. So Reith and Nan form a sort of friendship, and she is very curious about the Jedi. Affy also explores the station and finds a storage area covered in handwritten symbols on the walls.
That
And
was
she
really
thinks it's, yeah, and she thinks it's what, like the smuggler's code.
right. Kind of like hobos used to have back in the Depression.
Right.
What I thought was really cool is that she said that they were handwritten, and she also states at one point that she has never written anything in handwriting her entire life.
Oh, that's cool.
So
they type it.
Yeah, they just use data pads all the time. Also, did you guys fall for Nan and her
switcheroo?
Yeah, did you guys fall for it?
Not even a little bit.
Marcus, did you fall for it?
A little bit.
I fell hook, line, and sinker. I had no idea at all.
It was like Nan's way too nice.
I was like,
my radar for Nihil was on full alert.
I didn't even think of the Nihil till they showed up.
Me neither.
my Nihil radar was like, I completely was like,
nope,
absolutely not.
Not me.
I
didn't suspect it, but I was like, maybe she's working for them. She's gonna turn them over. She's a
zero
contractor.
idea that Nihil were going to show up in this book.
I had no idea. I thought that she was going to be like force sensitive, or like I thought there was going to be a whole nother subplot to her. Yeah. I didn't even see it coming.
See, that's fair to say. I knew there was something wrong with her. She was too nice to be like genuinely a good person. I didn't know literally Nihil, but I thought like something bad. This is not a good person. You know what I mean?
See, I was totally taken by the dark side of the force. That whole red herring.
Right.
Well, I guess it wasn't red herring. It was a dodgeball.
It was a red
flaring.
Oh my God. Hold on. Please hold. So Marcus finally figured out how to get his holocron.
I touched my holocron and it started talking.
And it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yay!
That's fucking awesome. Are you holding the right spot?
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the Temple. That time has passed, and our future is uncertain.
Aww.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere, and in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
I don't know if there's any more.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I just got all the feels. I'm like numb.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I was Darth Bane that came out of my holocron.
Anyway, but like,
what were you talking about?
No, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
That was entirely distracting.
Yes,
but like, but completely worth
it.
Squirrel.
Yeah. But anyway, so back to this. So I had no idea the Nihil was coming, or anything. What I thought was going to happen was that those, you know how like there was those like pirates on the ship. Oh, we're going to get to it. Let's go.
So, real quick, just want to clarify. I didn't literally think she was a Nihil, but I like knew that they existed and were around screwing things up. So my radar for people being deceptive was up, is what I meant to say. So anywho. Did I find? Yes, okay. Reith and Nan form a sort of friendship, and she is very curious about the Jedi. Affy explores the station and finds a storage area covered in handwritten symbols on the walls. She's alarmed when she sees the logo of the Bind Guild, her same shipping guild. Elsewhere, Orla and Comac are pulled into a dark force vision by the statues and believe the objects are idols, sending a warning. Later, Orla and Comac are pulled together into another force vision while talking about the parallels of their current predicament with their Double E crisis 25 years earlier. Reith is pulled into a vision as well and sees a forest and someone with a blue lightsaber trying to kill him. The Jedi continue to investigate the lower levels of the station to find where the idols are, what they could be protecting or hiding, and who created them.
And this is almost like a cat and the mouse kind of game or book, or if you remember like A New Hope, how it like starts off and you think like C-3PO and R2 are like the main characters.
Right.
It's almost like that. You're like, okay, so this is happening. Are these pirates the bad guys? Is the Biden Guild the bad guys?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then it goes full switcheroo.
right.
And with all this dark side, right there, I immediately thought of Loden, Great Storm.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we're stuck on this, and it could be for a day, it could be for a week, it could be for 5 months, and we need to focus on the light. And I'm thinking to myself, well, when there's dark side around, it will corrupt the Jedi.
Right. So Affy joins the Jedi in exploring, but splits off.
Oh,
Go
can
ahead.
I just say one more thing about Affy?
Of course.
I think it's really interesting how in the beginning of the book, the Jedi are monks.
Yeah.
And by the end of the book, they're wizards.
I see what you're saying.
They go wizard pretty quick. As soon as they're dealing with the wreck inside hyperspace, and Wreath is stabilizing Jory.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What the hell?"
Right.
Yeah.
Wizard.
Yeah. This,
Anyway,
And then
Wizard,
she
wizard.
tells Leox, and he goes, "Cool."
Give me my spice dick.
Exactly.
Sorry, Nick.
So Affy joins the Jedi in exploring, but splits off and finds more symbols written by previous travelers. She's shocked to find a symbol to the Kestrel's drive, the ships flown by her biological parents, who died when she was very young. So Wreath and Dez are together and searching. Dez is the previous Padawan of the same master. Wreath,
Des Rydan.
Yes, Dez
And
Rydan.
you know what he reminds me of? His voice reminds me of like your typical, stereotypical California surfer.
Right.
Hey, dude.
We're going for an adventure, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he reminds me of.
Wreath and Dez are together searching the station to find a large circular door. When Dez gets close to the door, it flips around and spins him to the other side. Wreath then sees the room vibrating and Dez shouting before being blinded by light. When Wreath opens his eyes, Dez is gone, but Wreath sees helix rings, power sources used for hyperspace travel and able to create deadly energy surges. Wreath believes Dez has been disintegrated by one of these rings.
Did you guys have you seen pictures of what the station looks like?
Mm-mm.
It looks
Nate.
way different than I thought it would look like.
Where are you finding photos?
Oh, I'm going to Google it.
I
What's the name of the
forgot.
station? Do you guys remember the name of the station?
A Moxie station, maybe? A Moxie?
It's like there. After I read it
Or the
or when
name.
I was listening to it the second time, I had seen pictures of it, and it
Yeah.
made way more sense.
Okay.
Because when they were describing it in the book, like they
It's
were
a Moxie with a name.
what's his name? Wreath
Dez?
was
Wreath,
almost got a anxiety from the because it's glass.
Right.
And
Right.
I forgot what words he used, but anyway, he was disoriented by it, but then kind of like got back to it. But it's really, really cool looking. But I didn't think it looked the way it that the pictures were that I found.
A Moxie with an A, Marcus.
Oh.
AMOXINE or something like that? AMAXINE.
Oh.
Oh, it's
Does it
almost
make more
looks like
sense?
yeah.
Yes,
So
this
it
is
almost
very jarring.
whoa. So it actually looks. You know what it reminds me of is Mech Shaw
Yeah, kind of
in SWTOR a little
interesting. So if you
Wow.
Google a Maxine station, AMAXINE.
So it's like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 metal rings that go around this like planet type thing,
that's like glass,
and it's like covered by hexagonal like
panels of glass looking
Yes.
stuff, and then underneath it's just all like plant life.
what the fuck?
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's super cool looking. But it made way more sense after I'd seen it and
Yeah,
was reading the book again. I'm like, oh, okay, I see how he got disoriented because
Yeah,
you're
big
looking out at space.
yeah, that's really crazy. All right, ready? So Wreath and Des are together searching the station and find a large circular door. I already said all this. Jesus Christ. Later, Dez gets presumably disintegrated. So later, as the Jedi reel from the loss of Dez, they learn that hyperspace travel has reopened. In a separate flashback, Comac, the Padawan, is fighting giant snakes and trying to find the kidnapped hostages while grappling with the death of his master Simics. The Jedi decide to bring the idols back with them to the temple. On board the vessel, Reeth writes up a report of his experiences at the Amaxine station for Master Jorah. But the trip back to Coruscant isn't without even more deadly adventure, as the Jedi and vessel crew become key players in the rescue of passengers on the journeyman ship, including a baby Wookiee. Once the Jedi... So just to summarize, they take the idols back to... They're trying to go back to Coruscant, and they have to rescue this other ship, and they rescue a baby Wookiee. Once the Jedi get back to the temple, the idols are carefully transferred to a protective anti-gravity floater and guided through closed-off streets. The idols are taken to the shrine in the depths, an ancient Sith shrine built upon a Virgins in the Force where light and dark meet. In the shrine of the depths, Orla and the other Jedi Masters strip the dark energy from the idols in that safe, sacred space where it could sink into the Virgins, dissipate into the cosmic force, and again be made whole.
At this point, I'm like going, wait a minute, what's going on? I heard that there were going to be like monsters and stuff, and right. I was kind of thrown off a little bit.
Yeah, me too. Elsewhere, Reeth takes the baby Wookiee he rescued to the space dock infirmary to reunite her with her parents,
and he rips off his Padawan braid.
Yes, the baby Wookiee does. Yes,
just jerks it right out of his head.
But but what was really interesting about that moment, they actually explained that some masters require the braid,
right,
and some masters discourage it.
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah, it depends on the master you get.
Right. So there, he sees space covered with the wounded, from the journeyman explosion. He also asks the droid for an update on Master Jorah Mali, who had responded to the hyperspace disaster. The droid responds that she was killed in the battle against the Nihil space pirates, who we learn caused the disaster in Light of the Jedi.
Yeah. So that was really cool because the entire book we're hearing about her, right. and then we learn she dies.
Exactly.
So, and that's where it ties the books together.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, Reeth is like saying, that Master Jorah would do this, that Master Jorah would be proud of me for that. She always taught me about this, so I got to apply this now. And then he gets back here and learns that she's dead. So he has no master anymore. So in such a short amount of time, Reeth has lost both Dez and who basically a big brother type figure, and Dez and Jorah, his master. So in his grief, he ventures to the Kuiper Arch and successfully climbs it alone, which is the challenge that she had issued to him initially, saying no Jedi can climb it alone. A combination of grief, confusion, and frustration makes him feel, quote, farther from the Force than before. So elsewhere on Coruscant, Affie is still digging into the history of the Bind Guild and why the symbols she saw on the Amaxine station are connected to the guild's leader and her foster mom, Scover Bind.
Scover.
That's who it is, right?
Yes, foster mom and leader of the Bind Guild. So through her time spent hanging out with Scover and asking her questions about the Amaxine station, and of course breaking into Scover's protected data pad, Affie learns that the Bind Guild uses indentured servants to take on dangerous missions. Mm-hmm. And that's why Affie recognized the guild symbols on the Amaxine station. Guild traders use that station and its powerful helix rings to try and boost their ships. So she's not too happy that they use indentured servants.
No,
because they're basically slaves.
And I think this is where Affie really kind of
blossomed as a character.
Yeah, she proves how brave she is, or she starts to develop that bravery. And I was like, okay, is she going to confront Scover? Is she going to let it go? And I was thinking to myself, I'd be like, God, I'd let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
Let it go. Okay, so my parents died, blah, blah, blah. But it was, I really like that she proved to be like such a strong, like badass character.
Yeah, she knows what's right and absolutely fights for it tooth and nail. And it's really cool.
Yeah.
So, and at the same time, Affy learns that's how her parents died. They were endangered to Scover and tried to boost their ship's travel power using the unpredictable helix rings on that station. So, in a briefing at the Jedi Temple, with Master Adampo, Reeth is told of the dangers of the Nihil space pirates and shown hollows of their ships and masks.
Mhm.
Seeing the patchwork ships in the style of the Nihil armor, Reeth is horrified when he realizes why Nan and her guardian were so curious and friendly towards the Jedi on the station. Their vagueness about where they came from, the violent deaths of Nan's parents, the carbon scorings on the plates of their ship, the blue streaks in Nan's hair. He whispers, "They're Nihil."
I got chills right there. I just went, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I see it? I mean, when I listened to the book the second time and they were talking about the ship being pulled into that station, it's so obvious.
Yeah. It's like it's torn up, and then the blue streaks in her hair. It's like
mixed matched.
Right.
It's thrown together looking.
And that's where I was like, okay, so that's where I was like, holy fuck, I got to focus on this book.
Yeah. It definitely blew some winds in the sails.
Well, yeah, because now you're like, okay, so now it's connecting Light of the Jedi into the dark, and you're like, okay, so the Nihil are really here. Like, in Light of the Jedi, you knew that the Nihil were it, and they were going to be back, but you didn't realize how big the Nihil were.
Yeah, like how widespread.
Yes, and all of a sudden this happens, and you're like, oh shit!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here we go.
And there's that station there, and you know that they're not going to let that station go. They're going to come and pilfer everything they can from it.
Right. All right. You ready for more?
Yes.
So, in the Shrine of the Depths, the Jedi complete the purification ritual on those idols. But they quickly realize that the ritual didn't really work because there's actually no dark side energy trapped within the statues. So Comac and Orla realized that the statues weren't holding the dark side within them. They were holding the dark side on the Amaxine station, keeping the dark side imprisoned there and trying to warn us that the dark side was there. So they just took the protection off of the station.
It was
like a double whammy of realization.
Yeah, this part of the book is where I got excited that I could see what's going to happen. Right. And I was like, oh man, I really got pumped.
This is between the realizing Nan and her guardian were Nihil, and then also this part like that. This is when I was like, I went from lounging in the back of my couch, so to speak, mentally, to like getting up on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Right. All right, let's go. Here, I can see what's going on.
Because you can totally see everything, all these things converging and what's going to happen.
Exactly. Right. So Orla, Comac, and Reeth, the three Jedi, decide to return to the Amaxine station. Orla and Comac to return the idols, and Reeth to confront Nan and her guardian. The Jedi Council deny the request to return, but Comac slyly tells Reeth that they did not expressly forbid the trip. And they said they didn't tell us not to go. They just said, whatever. Anyways, they find a loophole and they go.
Semantics.
And of course, right. And of course, they hire the vessel crew to take them back.
And why wouldn't they?
Yeah, they've already been there. They're friends.
Right. And Affy wants to go back too.
Exactly. Affy also wants to go back to find more about where her parents died. So, blah, 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 blah. When they arrive at the station, they find a full storm of Nihil warships on the other side.
Oh.
So they have to maneuver the vessel to sneak aboard. Like, I think they're like in a perfect 180 around the planet.
Right. They use the silhouette of the station to hide
their ship. So they all split up again, and Reeth heads to the lower tunnels to look for Nan. Orla and Comac take the idols, and Affy heads back to the areas with the guild symbols. At the same circular door where Des was lost, Reeth carefully inspects the inside of the tunnel, but the hatch slams shut and seals him inside. He senses the vibrations and sees the bright light, and then the unmistakable electric blue of hyperspace. It's a single-person hyperspace pod. His hyperspace journey doesn't take long, but when he lands, he inspects the pod and station on the unknown planet. He then realizes the ancient Amaxines used them to quickly travel back and forth from the station. Reeth then encounters the Drengir.
Which this is where I was like, Oh no, this has to be where Dez is.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
So Reith then encounters the Drengir, carnivorous sentient plants deeply connected to the dark side.
Well, you know what else? There was a part in the book where Affy and Reith are moving through the vines and stuff, and Affy gets scraped and she gets like super sick.
Yeah.
So
because they're all poisonous.
yeah, we learn that these plants are like really poisonous and dangerous and stuff.
And they're
Right.
razor sharp.
Yeah.
Right. So the book describes the Drengir as like swamp matter compressed together, plated with bark, and then studded with horns.
Thorns.
Sorry, thorns. The group of 7 Drengir that Reith encounters on this planet tells Reith that the Amaxines built the hyperspace relay in an attempt to take over their planet, but the Drengir, quote, defeated and devoured them.
Meat.
And says, quote, "We made the station our own. From there we planned to wreak havoc on many worlds. But then our people fell silent. None of them returned in either glory or defeat," one of the Drengir said. So all the people that they sent to the station just all of a sudden went silent.
Right.
So Reith realizes that all of the plant life he saw on the Amaxine station were the other Drengir, made dormant by the ancient idols. He then Right. So he then realizes that the other, quote, meat the Drengir were talking about on the planet is actually Dez. The Drengir had caged Dez and poisoned him repeatedly to try and get information out of him. The deadly plants then inject Dez with a dizzying amount of adrenaline and force him to fight Reith in order to be freed.
And that's
So
where
Dez is all screwed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the foreshadowing that happened before when
Right.
Dez's force vision.
Right. He was in a forest with somebody with a blue lightsaber trying to kill him. It was them fighting. I think it was Reith's vision. But
Right.
still, it was Dez being all screwed up.
Right, Reith's vision of Dez attacking him, but he couldn't see who it was.
Right. So back on the station, Orla and Cormac deal with their own Drengir. Set free after the Jedi took the idols. However, they learned it wasn't the Amaxine warriors who used the idols to trap the Drengir on the station. Instead, it was the Sith of the Old Republic. A shiver crawled up Cormac's back as he realized that the Drengir must have fought and been captured by the ancient Sith. If the Drengir were deep enough in the dark side to have presented a challenge to the Sith themselves, ... That means Cormac and Orla are in for quite the fight. So Orla and Cormac struggle to fight off the Drengir as they're nearly impossible to kill even with a lightsaber. They end up devising a plan to sick the gardening 8T droids on them, which gives them just enough time to call on the Force and put the idols back in place, trapping the Drengir again. Back on the Drengir's home planet, Reith duels with Dez, who's barely lucid. Reith manages to disarm Dez and convince the drugged man that he's a friend. They both manage to get back into a hyperspace pod and head back to the station. The Drengir on the planet follow them in a separate pod, and Reith uses his knowledge of the Helix rings and his power in the Force to trap and disintegrate the homicidal plants before they can make it out of the pod.
Homicidal plants. That fight with Dez and Reith was super stressful.
Yes. I was like, oh no, because I think like Dez is going to take his hand off or something like by accident and snap out of it.
Right.
Or something bad was going to happen for Dez to get out of the like drug field haze.
Because he was fucked up.
Yeah.
He was
really
messed
screwed
up bad.
Well, that's the thing that I will say. I don't know how much time has passed from the first time they were there and then when they left and came back. That was just an unknown time.
Right. So Dez has been there for a while, presumably.
Yeah, I think for me, I just thought it was like maybe a week or two. Like it wasn't like a month and it wasn't like a couple days.
Right.
I have no idea.
So with the 2 sets of Drengir taken care of, the Jedi and vessel crew are home free, right? Well, it couldn't be a true High Republic book without a fight with the Nihil, including Nan and her guardian. And because the Jedi and vessel crew are greatly outnumbered by the Nihil force, they deem it necessary to release the Drengir again so the evil sentient plants can fight the space pirates. And to keep the station out of the hands of both the Drengir and the Nihil, Reith coordinates the hyperspace pods to launch into the middle of dead space. So both the Nihil and the Drengir wanted to use those single one-way hyperspace pods to like conquer other planets because they can just jump into hyperspace and go wherever from that launch point.
That's right.
So, and then all of a sudden they would just be on a planet somewhere. So go ahead.
That was also a great idea, having the Nihil fight the Drengir, because the Jedi couldn't do it. There's only a couple of them.
Right. And so the Nihil are obviously going to be screwed up by him too.
Fuck yeah.
So, though the Drengir and Nihil are preoccupied with one another, the vessel crew realizes that the ship is literally tied onto the station with
that's right.
Drengir vines. So Wreath, still on the station launching the pods, figures out the answer to why no Jedi can cross the Kyber Arch alone. Wreath had to save his friends if he could, even if it was to cost his own life. So Wreath knows that like you shouldn't cross the Kyber Arch alone. You should try to have someone help you. Or always like the moral of the story is like look for help. Don't try to just do things by yourself. So clinging to a service ladder, Wreath opens a giant airlock on the station, causing explosive energy to pull the Nihil and Drengir out into open space. In the moments he believes he's going to die by being sucked out into space, he hits Geode, and the airlock slides closed.
All right.
Boom.
What did you guys think of that moment?
I was crying laughing. I was like, this is perfect. This is what Geode was meant to do. He brought balance to the Force.
Right.
It
Because this whole time he's like, oh, Geode's in a good mood. So up until this point, I thought he was just like he was like a stuffed animal, but like a rock. I thought he was like a pet rock.
Yeah, he was
This
like
whole
not
time.
a real person.
Yeah, he wasn't like real. And then this made him real.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the whole thing. Is you weren't ever really sure if he was like an inanimate
Sentient.
object or sentient, and then this happens, and you're like, yes,
Geode's real, and he's awesome.
and all he does is hits him. Geode's
Exactly.
literally just standing there, and he just
And Wreath like runs into him.
yeah.
Oh, it's fantastic. So when the vessel gets back to Coruscant, the Jedi and crew all go their separate ways, sort of. Affy uses her discoveries to report the Republic government about the Bind Guild's use of illegal indentured servitude. Her foster mother, Scover Bind, was quickly arrested.
See, that's where she became a badass right there.
Right.
She saw something and was like, I'm going to take her down.
Right.
Which took some balls.
Yeah, big time. Alfie's got a cool, very like fulfilling character arc.
Yeah, definitely.
So Dez, whose connection to the Force was broken by the Drengir torture, chooses to take the Barnish vow and spend years in deep meditation. Orla officially becomes a Wayseeker and buys a ship of her own, calling it the Lightseeker. Geode helped her pick it out, of course. Wreath, a Padawan without a teacher, asks Comac if he would take him as an apprentice, and Comac accepts.
Okay. I got chills and almost had a tear in my eye when that happened.
Me too. That was such a cool moment. It was so fulfilling because Comac's like still through his flashbacks wrestling with like the death of his own teacher and sort of has some self-doubts and things like that of his current situation. And then like he finally comes, like when Wreath asks him, he's like humbled, like, yes, I can do this. I am going to teach him. This is going to be great.
Yeah, it just was so sweet. And they both needed each other so bad and didn't even know it until that whole thing happened. So good.
So the book ends with the Starlight Beacon finally coming online and a celebration featuring Jedi from both Into the Dark and Light of the Jedi. The opening of the Starlight Beacon opens the Outer Rim to become part of the Republic and acts as a safe way station between the core worlds and the frontier. So elsewhere in the galaxy, of course, we get a little bit more Nihil. Nan kneels before the leader, the Eye of the Nihil, Marchion Ro. I'm not going to do the impression.
No. So wait. Can we just start that paragraph over and let just Kitty handle this?
Yes.
Wait, where are we at? Right here?
All the way at the bottom.
Yes.
Wait, real quick. All right, 202. I have to pee so bad I might pee myself.
All right, go.
Go.
And then we'll finish
we
this.
won't finish this
Okay.
until you
Fix it in post.
No way. This is not what we do. The whole purpose of this is so he can do whatever he wants. I mean, I went to the bathroom during this because I didn't go during the break, but doing a podcast for 2 hours, like I had to go. I just had to.
You know what my mom used to say when I said I had to go to the bathroom?
What?
She'd go, tie it in a knot.
So here's the thing too, is where the Drengir were the villain of this book, but really, truly, everything is just bringing us back to the Nihil, and I just feel like there's going to be like the greatest battle in Star Wars history with the Nihil, and it's going to be crazy. Something else that I've noticed throughout these books is the Jedi really aren't that strong because, all you need is a group of people like enemies to overtake one or two Jedi.
Yeah. They're incredibly powerful, but they're not unkillable.
Right. That's right.
They also, I noticed that this generation of Jedi are willing to die at the drop of a hat to save people.
Yeah, they're much more monk-like and like committed to the religion. I'm back, by the way. Yeah, they're much more like, especially in Light of the Jedi, as they're like a lot of them like sacrifice themselves to stop that fuel thing hitting the sun or whatever it was.
Yeah,
they're just like, using the Force to exhaustion and dying, or like flying their ships around in a manner and like end up like dying just like in fighting. And they, like you said, they seem way more willing to die for their cause just because they're so devout to, the Force.
And they're fucked up on drugs.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I might as well die. I didn't succeed.
They're listening to like heavy metal dubstep.
That's right.
Wait, are you talking about the Nihil or the Jedi? Oh, I was talking about the Jedi being willing to die.
Okay, the Jedi, but so are the Nihil.
They are the Republic.
But yes, on the flip side, the Nihil super are because they're on drugs and they're like Vikings almost, like space pirate Vikings, just hopped up on drugs and like heavy metal.
Also, what Marcus, you were talking about the Nihil and the Jedi having a big battle. I'm wondering.
Oh, yeah, you were using the bathroom.
I kind of heard it.
I wonder if that is what's going to end the High Republic. Like the Jedi getting their asses kicked by the Nihil, or
maybe they like barely defeat the Nihil and they're all like thinned out or something.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what the evolution is going to be for the Jedi that puts them into where we come across them.
I think the end of the High Republic is when Darth Plagueis takes over.
I
think that's probably accurate. Yeah.
I wonder. That's interesting. I didn't even think of Darth Plagueis.
You got to read
because
have you read that book?
So in between episode 1 and the end of the High Republic is like 30 years.
Right.
Or no, it's 400. Yeah, the end of the High Republic.
No, the end of the isn't it only 200 years?
No. It's the beginning of the High Republic.
Oh, okay. Because
but I was pretty sure where the High Republic ends to where episode 1, this is the way I understood it. Maybe I'm wrong. Fact checkers fact check me. I'm pretty sure the High Republic era ends. 30 years later, the episode 1 happens.
Right.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then it's basically right where like the Darth Plagueis book starts is when High Republic
Gotcha.
Ends, right?
Because I know that the Acolyte, the show that's going to be coming out, the Disney Plus show, is going to be the end of the High Republic.
That's correct.
That's interesting.
It would be cool if the Acolyte was Darth Plagueis.
I think it is.
Oh my God, I never thought of that.
Yeah, it's going to be there. That's going to be it. And I think the Acolyte show ends with him taking his Padawan, which is Palpatine.
Right.
Connection.
Sheev Palpatine.
Cool.
Anyways, let's read this last paragraph.
Oh.
No, wait. You should read the quote, sir.
Okay, I'll read the quote.
I'll read the. Okay. So elsewhere in the galaxy, Nan kneels before the leader, the Eye of the Nihil, Marchion Ro, whose story we get in Light of the Jedi. She tells him that the Jedi killed her guardian and so many other members of the Nihil. She also tells him of her fear of the Jedi and the power that they wield. Marchion Ro replies,
"You are wise to fear the Jedi and the Republic, but they should fear us in return. For the Nihil will be the destruction of the Jedi."
That's perfect.
And that's how the book ends.
Yeah. Right. So good. See, that's the destruction of the Jedi. I mean, that makes sense that the big battle and they're gonna.
Right.
I can't wait to see what happens. And we're just in the beginning of the High Republic.
I know.
So I've been doing some research, and so we are in phase 1 of the High Republic. And the next, so I'm going to tell you, so the next book that comes out is on June 29th. So I will be saving my June Audible credit
Yeah.
for that book.
Me too. I've got yeah.
And this appears to continue the main story for the Light of the Jedi. So where Light of the Jedi ended, this book picks right up after it, or maybe like a few months after, maybe a year after, who knows.
Yeah.
But that's the next book. Also, which I like this release schedule, on June 29th, it's Race to Crash Point Tower. This middle grade novel stars a Jedi with an unusual Force connection to technology, which I have. So I have all the High Republic books here on hardcover and in Audible. And the middle school book was pretty cool. Test of Courage.
Yeah,
it was actually, I listened to it on Audible. And it was actually really good. And I'm excited for it. Then on July 22nd of 2021, we get Out of the Shadows. And this young adult novel continues the story of Jedi Knight Venestra Rowe, which we haven't met her yet.
I'm looking at our chart here.
We have not met Venestra Rowe.
So that's Markion Rowe's daughter?
Maybe.
Wait, which bullet are you looking at?
Well, anyway, so I'm going to keep talking.
Okay, go ahead.
While you guys are doing that. So, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that means Jedi Knight Venestra Rowe.
Oh, different spelling though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
RWOH versus.
But, wait a minute. No, maybe I'll have to read Test of Courage again, because maybe. Oh, yes.
Continues
Out of the
story of.
Well, Justina Ireland is the same one who wrote Test of Courage. So
It's
Jedi Knight Venestra Rowe is in Test of Courage.
Right.
She was the main
Jedi Knight.
the Jedi Knight. Yes. So that's cool. So now that's a young adult novel,
Right.
which that means it's going to get a little bloody.
Right.
And then the last book for 2021, as far as they've said, is Tempest Runner. And this is only an audio book. And this audio novel explores the Nihil, starring one of their lieutenants. So
it's got to highlight.
and then we're getting September 7th, we're getting an original Star Wars original manga book. So it's going to be anime.
Cool.
The first one ever.
Like a comic, but.
Yep. And then we're getting a 8x8 storybook sees the Nihil attack the Republic Fair.
Like the core Republic.
Yes. It's called Shadow at the Fair.
Sweet.
I don't know what this
I think it's probably a little kid's book.
yeah,
I
it's
guess.
cool with me. I'll get it for the kids. And then The Monster of the Temple Peak in Release Date Unknown. It'll be a graphic novel. So that's pretty much what we have. But the next book is June 29th, and that's going to help us kind of tie things together.
Yep.
Because I don't know if it's like a 3-year plan or a 2-year plan for the High Republic, but maybe this is the end of fate. Like these books are the end of fate. Well, this Rising Storm. No, Rising Storm. That doesn't sound like it's the end. This sounds like it's like The Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
Right.
Rising Storm.
Where
and
the
Tempest
Nihil,
Runner.
the Nihil are going to mess us up. Sorry.
Right. No, it's fine. The I'm really pumped. I want to see like. The Light of the Jedi ends with Marchion Rowe. He took Loden Greatstorm as his prisoner.
Yeah, it was
And he
scary.
He knew, very scary. He knew how to keep him there and keep him not using his light side force powers. Because he's trapped, just to recap, it's like extraordinarily bright. Everything's all mirrored. And there's like 9 cells. Loden's in one of them, and everyone else in there is being tortured constant. They're just regular people being tortured constantly.
So that he can feel his pain. He can feel their pain.
He can feel all their pain, and he can't access like the light side of the force easily.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that a Loden Greatstorm is going to be the first Sith we experience in the books.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
I think Martian's going to like turn him into the dark side.
Well, I think somebody. I don't know if it's Martian is, but I think somebody is a Sith Lord that the Nihil are like
in cahoots with.
Or
Kind of like in the movie Solo, how like Darth Maul was like
pulling the strings
for what was that gang?
the sun, red sun. No,
I
I
forgot.
tried to say it too fast.
Yes, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Right.
Crimson Suns.
Crimson Suns.
Crimson Tide. Crimson Tide.
No, Crimson Tide's
That's
something
a
else.
Nick Nolte movie.
Yes, Crimson. I think it's the Crimson Suns or something like that.
Crimson.
Let's ask the
Let's
Google.
just go Crimson Tide because it's ridiculously funny. By the way, I have Test of Courage on Audible.
Oh,
We should review that too.
Oh, Crime Syndicate. Oh no. What is it called?
look up
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn.
Thank
Okay.
you.
There we go. I
Thanks,
knew it was
Jamie.
something with a sun. Dawn. That was
Yeah.
close.
Thanks, Jamie.
Fastest two fingers in Western Mass.
So you have Test of Courage. So it's a kid's book,
Right.
but I think it's about like young Jedi. So like hearing it's like just a different side of the Jedi that you've never got.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'm pumped.
Me too.
Closing remarks, gentlemen.
Oh, this has nothing to do with the book or anything, but my birthday is coming up next weekend.
What?
I'm turning 50 years old.
Wow! Happy
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday.
And
Are you going to do a big 50 stream?
I'm trying to get Friday off and do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday birthday stream.
Birthday weekend.
That's
stream.
right. I'm going to get
What
cookies
day is your
and
actual
pizza.
birthday? Saturday?
June 2nd.
What
And
is that?
now hold on, put seatbelts on your ears because they're about to go on the rides of their lives. It's Nixu's birthday too.
Whoa.
Nixu and I both have the same birthday. He's going to
So
be.
your birthday is
2.
next Friday.
Is it next Friday?
Yeah, next Friday.
The 4th or the what day?
Wednesday. It's going to be next Wednesday,
June 4th.
June 2nd.
Oh, June 2nd.
Is it? Oh, happy birthday!
I'm going to be 50 and the Nixu's going to be 2.
Nice.
Awesome.
So-
or 14 in cat years, right?
So we're gonna have
Something like
so
that, yeah.
what? So which weekend is gonna be your big birthday stream party?
4th, 5th, and 6th. And
all of
I've got
them.
a bunch of giveaways. Marcus, you gave me a code for cartel coins. I'm going to give that away.
I'll send you. I have a 30-day sub code I can give you, and probably another couple 450 cartel
Sweet.
coins.
And
Yeah,
I've got a
I'll
bunch of
hook you.
stuff we're going to give away. So come hang out and it's going to be super fun.
That's fantastic.
Excellent.
Okay, so now to the book. What did you guys think? Final remarks.
So originally I was gonna have a gripe with the flashbacks, but if it's clear when you're listening, see, it's tough to listen to an audiobook for the first time, right? Because you're trying to understand the characters and differentiate them
B, you're doing other things that
at
you're
the
not
same
just
time.
like
I'm not like intently listening to it.
right.
Autoerotic
when you're-
asphyxiation.
Exactly. Yeah. Or squanching if you watch Rick and Morty.
Squanching. Sorry.
So I was going to minus points for. God damn it!
Okay, wait.
This is
Sorry, I lost consciousness there for a second.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
And he's back. So anyways, I really enjoyed it. I like this book more than Light of the Jedi because of the pacing. I felt like the pacing in this was a little bit better. Still a bit of a slow start, but once you hit that point where like you realize Nan and the grandpa are Nihil, and then also the Drengir like exist, that's pretty sweet. I think that's when it really picks up and goes from there. I like the character arcs. Overall, I really enjoyed the book. How about you guys?
I really liked it. I really loved again the characters, especially the crew of the vessel. I
Yes.
loved Geode. I loved every time that they referenced Geode. It was funny. It was light-hearted. And of course, Leox and Affy. I loved all that stuff. And just them interacting with each other and the Jedi was really cool. But when they left the station, they went back to Coruscant, and all that stuff started to become relevant to the characters, and you knew what was going to happen. I was excited in a way that I have not been excited in a book in a long time. Like I was just like, you know what's coming, and they gave it to you. And I enjoyed it very, very much. And then of course, at the end, when they go back to Marchion Row and you just go, oh, that's right. This is all just one little part of the book. I got excited for the fact that we're just starting these collection of works, and I can't wait. Very good. I enjoyed it very much.
Me too, Marcus.
I liked the book, but it was relieving that we didn't get the 5-chapter buildup of what the High Republic is. Like, we didn't get another Spider-Man origin story movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was just, okay, we're starting off. Here we go. You already know the galaxy that we're in. It's a galaxy far, far away, but you already know. We don't have to tell you. We're jumping right into it.
Yeah.
I like that. Something that I didn't like about it is I found the book to be scattered. And what I mean by that is I think the placement of the 25 years earlier moments, the timeline hops, I found them to be just kind of meh. And that's where I got lost in the book. So, and maybe it's just because I'm a simple person and, like it's not for me, but like I was like 25 years earlier.
No.
So should I not even listen to this shit? I got lost in it. I got lost once. As soon as they said 25 years earlier, that chapter was over and I wasn't even there. I
feel the same way. I got pulled out of the story when that happened. And after on the second reading or the second listening, I still don't know exactly. I know it was character building, but it just seems like it could have just been done shorter and in one section.
Well, honestly, it feels to me like Claudia Gray wrote the book and they were like, you need filler.
Right.
Well, because if you take out the 25-year earlier sections, the book is fucking awesome from beginning to end.
Well, I know that there were a bunch of rewrites that happened, and I wonder if those flashbacks were part of the book that they had taken out. But I agree, Marcus. I think that's the only flaw for me as well, is that it completely threw me off.
So when they would go back. This time in the book, every time they said 25 years earlier, I skipped the chapter.
Oh, no way.
On the reread.
Oh, on the reread. Gotcha.
On the reread. Because as soon as they say 25 years earlier, I just went to the Audible, skipped the chapter, and got right back to the story. The story is fantastic.
I tried to glean what they were going for. I tried to go back and figure out what did I miss? And I don't think I really missed anything except for, what is his name? Comac.
Yeah.
His experience, which kind of made it, when him and Reith decided to team up, a little bit more interesting. But yeah, it did. Every time we got pulled out 25 years later, I felt lost.
And if you finish listening to it, because I'm gonna finish it now because I'm in it. If you just, when they say 25 years earlier, skip the chapter, you're gonna be like, the whole book changed.
Huh.
The whole book's going to change for you because you're not going to get taken out of the story and you're just going to stay in it and you're going to get tense in your shoulders. Kitty, do me a favor. Tell everybody where they can find your awesome stream.
You can find me on Twitch at Twitch TV /Kitty Kisses. You can also find me on Twitter at GM Kitty Kisses. And I am on Instagram now. Kitty Kisses PDX. Come at me, bro.
And where else can they hear your fabulous voice.
They can also hear me on the Utini Cast, and you can find that anywhere podcasts are found. Utini Cast. Utini Cast. I couldn't think of anything to say after that, so
Utini.
What are you guys talking about in here?
Find out next episode of
Working Class Nerds.